Good afternoon, students. Am I
Good
audible?
afternoon, teacher.
Good
Am I
afternoon,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher. Yes. Good afternoon.
Yes, okay. A very good afternoon, my dear students. Now, I'm very sure that all of you know that what today's session is on. So please put down your comments in the chat box. Are you all aware about it? What is today's session is on? Like what it is all about career guidance. Very good, Piyush. Oh, yes, very good. So how many of you have difficulties in deciding like what to do after 12th commerce? You can type in the chat box. Make use of the chat box. How many of you have difficulties what to do after 12th commerce? No one? So it's good to know that you all are focused on your careers and your ambitions. So this webinar today will help you to sort out your career related queries. Now without much ado, I now hand it over to our principal madam, Cynthia, to welcome our resource person for today's webinar.
Thank you, Frida. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Respected resource person of today's function, Dr. Edwin, Associate Professor of Damodar College, Mr. Vinayak Kangle, the Chairman of the School Managing Committee, Mr. Divakar Komarpan and Mr. Devdutt Raikar, teachers in charge of the career cell, Ms. Usha Gaonkar, the IT cell in charge, Mrs. Frida Fernandez, the compare of today's session, the faculty of RMS, both teaching and non-teaching staff who are attending the session, and my dear students, 12th standard students. At the outset, I would like to welcome all of you for today's session. This particular session has been thought of, especially by the teachers connected with the career cell, mainly to help you to make the right decision. As you know, you have opted for commerce, and definitely it is one of the streams which enables you to have many more opportunities as compared to the others. And to help us out in getting more details about these careers, we have requested our very own ex-student and the present faculty of Damodar College, that is Dr. Edwin Barreto, to actually address you. I will not waste more time. Once again, I welcome you for the session. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome. Now, I would like to request Sir Devdutt to introduce the speaker.
Good afternoon, students. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker, Dr. Edwin Barreto, who is going to talk to us about career in commerce. It's a subject in which we should be deeply interested because it's a question of your career. Our speaker, Dr. Edwin Barreto, although having spent almost his entire career in advising students to select a right choice, he is talented and well-experienced person and presently working as an associate professor in the Department of Commerce at V.V.M's Sri Damodar College of Commerce and Economics, Margao. He is qualified in M.Com, M.Phil, B.Ed, NET and PhD. He is having 24 years experience in his teaching field. He is also a visiting faculty to Indira Gandhi National Open University. He is a member of Board of Studies in Commerce and also a member of various committees at Goa University. He published research papers, authored 6 textbooks for Goa University, namely Financial Statement Analysis, Government Accounting, etc. He conducted audit for RMS Higher Secondary School and academic audit for Padaraganal College of Commerce and Arts, Pilar, Goa. So I am privileged to announce a renowned personality, Dr. Edwin Barreto, on the virtual platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Devda. Now, I would like the resource person for the day, that is Dr. Edwin Barreto, to take over.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can see the screen? Screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
No, we cannot see the screen.
No. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. All can see? Madam, you can see the screen, teachers? Hello? Hello? Is the screen visible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Visible. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll continue. Good afternoon, Ma'am Principal Cynthia, faculty members, and my dear students. It is a great feeling to address the students of my alma mater, RMS High Secondary School, where I have studied 30 years back. I am thankful to the principal, Sir Divakar and Sir Devdutt, for giving me an opportunity to address the students on the topic careers in commerce. Now, by careers, we mean a profession, a occupation, vocation, a calling, employment, a job, line of work, walk of life, post, sphere, etc. Having a career plan can help you design your future the way you would like it to be. So keeping this in mind, we will first discuss what are the change in thought process that has gone through over a period of years with regard to choosing a career. Now, normally, the tendency was for a student to choose a career, it was what my parents want me to be. Now, this thought process has changed nowadays to what I want to be. a student decides for himself with all the exposure of knowledge and the options as to what he aspires to be. So it is based on the inherent strength of a student that he chooses a career and not necessarily what the parents aspired them to do. Then another wrong notion was what my friends are doing, I would also do the same or choose the same career. It was like a herd mentality, which is no longer the case. I have to choose a career what is inclined with my personality and my desire. What I want, I would become. That is the mentality nowadays. So it is not the herd mentality of a friend choosing and I also choose the same. Then another wrong notion is what made them successful was also thought that it will be successful to me as well, which is no longer the case. Which is no longer the case. Success nowadays should be how I define success and what can help me get there. So you should decide what way you want to measure success, whether it is a particular job or a particular position, working in a good company or taking up a responsibility. What success you are measuring, whether it is a good pay package, what is the success you want, that matters a lot. Now, many a times, the society has that feeling, if I am a mediocre, if I am a weak student, commerce is the right career option for me, which is totally wrong in the present circumstances. At present, good students, brilliant students also join commerce. And I would also go a step further, wherein this is the decade which belongs to commerce. India is a growing economy, and there are a lot of opportunities which are there for a commerce graduate compared to the other stream students. So commerce basically offers a wide variety of opportunities, as commerce has a lot of scope. There is also a wrong notion which says there is a lot of competition around. How will I be able to cope up with the competition in the job market? You should not be afraid about the competition, but you should just be able to compete with your commerce performance. With your competitors' performance, you should be able to excel better than your competitor. Then some food for thought. Now, when it comes to choosing a career, it is always better to evaluate what are the alternatives in hand. So what are the options in hand? First you evaluate and then take a choice or make a choice. So each alternative, what are available in front of you, will be competing with one another. Suppose if you decide to become a chartered accountant, there is also another professional course called as company secretary. There is also your cost and management accountant. So each alternative also will be competing among themselves. Now choose a career which is based on your core competence of academics, your core personality, and what is the desire within you. There has to be some fire within you to choose a particular line of career. Now, there is a lot of imbalance between options and expectations of parents and friends. Your parents and friends would be liking you to choose a particular career, but at the same time, with your exposure, you would like to try a better career. So there is a lot of imbalance between what your parents and friends want you to choose and what you want to be. Now, if this is the background, how to plan your career? The best thing is you do a self-assessment. And how do we do a self-assessment? We basically do, and you will be also using it in your career, what we call as SWOT analysis. Your analysis of your own strength, your own weaknesses, what are the opportunities, what are there for you, and what are the threats if you choose a particular career. So you have to basically do a SWOT analysis. Then also you have to consider what are the academic and career options in front of you. Now to choose a particular academic or career option, you should know or understand that particular course. You should also evaluate what that course has to offer. And once you do this, you have to prioritize. You have to pinpoint which particular course and which particular career will be the best suited for you. The main thing in life is always interact with the right people. By interacting with the right people, I mean you should interact with people who are positive about things. People who talk negative, no, this career, CA, just forget it. It is a difficult course. If any of your friends or your peers or others have this type of mentality, you should avoid those people. You should interact with people who talk only positive things and the right thing. Also, to choose any career and to be successful in a career, you should be always well read. You should have a dream to become a particular person, to choose a career. You should also have a wish to be that person, and you should also hope to be that particular person. Now, you should always have a practical perspective. Now, this might be contradiction. You should be practical about things. Now, suppose if you want to be a chartered accountant, and if you don't want to study at all, if you don't want to do any hard work, then it is not possible for you to become a chartered accountant. So you have to be practical based on your core competence, whether you will be able to take up that particular career. That perspective you should be having, a practical perspective you should be carrying. Now, when it comes to choosing, you should be choosing from macro to micro. Macro means take all the alternatives in hand and narrow down to a particular career or a particular course. Now, once you are in a particular career, you should always do timely reality check whether you are in the right career, whether you are doing the right thing, what you had aspired to be, that you have to do a reality check. Now, later, once you are in a career, also you should prioritize whether your main goal is to work for a well-known company, for a branded company. You are happy with the company or the institution where you are serving, whether the job position what you are occupying is giving you the satisfaction, or whether the salary what is offered that is giving you the satisfaction. So you have to prioritize between your institution, your job, and your compensation, what the job has to offer. Now, keeping this background in mind, we will first see what are the professional courses what are available to a commerce student. You all have all taken commerce, you all have landed in commerce. So now we should see what could be the professional courses what are offered to a commerce student. There are basically 4 professional courses. One is a chartered accountant called as a CA, a company secretary called as CS, a cost and management accountant called as CMA. Earlier it was called ICWA. It is renamed as CMA, and a bachelor in law, which is a LLB, which is a professional course. So we'll see all the 4 professional courses first. First is the chartered accountant. Now, a CA course for a starter is the core of all business, be it a small business or a big business. All businesses have to go through a chartered accountant. They require the services of a professional called as a chartered accountant. So CA is usually the first step for a rewarding career in finance, investment consultancy, and fund management. Any person who wants to be a professional, the main course which comes in anybody's mind is a course of chartered accountancy. Now, when do we start a CA course? It is after you pass your 10th standard. Okay, so you register for this course, you enter in this course after 10th standard, and you give your exam after your 12th standard. Okay, so you enroll, get admitted when you are in 11, 12, but you answer the exam when you give your exam of your 12th standard. So after 12th standard appearing, you can answer the CA first stage exam, which we will talk later. It is always advisable to do your CA course or any professional course except law while pursuing your BCom degree. So why that I will be discussing later. Now, is CA a right career choice for me? If you have taken commerce, If you are in commerce now, whether you are 11th standard or 12th standard, you are already inclined towards commerce. So it is an ideal course for a commerce student. And it is open also for non-commerce students. But as you are more inclined towards commerce, you know the basics of commerce, the CA course is best suitable or best meant for you. Now, how much does it cost? Now, to become a professional like a doctor, a dentist, or any other professional, it costs in lakhs. But to become a professional chartered accountant, CA is the most economical professional course at present. The total cost, if you are doing self-study without any coaching, will not cost you more than 20,000 rupees. Now, this is a chart which is given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It looks complex, but I'll try to make it very simple. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the chart looks complicated, but I'll try to make it very simple. There are basically 3 stages to become a chartered accountant. Like how your high secondary, you have to do 11th standard, 12th standard. Your BCom or a graduation, you have to do first year, second year, third year. In the same fashion, to become a chartered accountant, you have to basically answer or clear 3 stages. Stage 1 is called as foundation. Okay, stage 1 is called as foundation stage. Stage 2 is called as intermediate. This foundation was earlier called as CPT. Stage 2 is called as intermediate, which earlier was called as P1, P2. And the third stage is called as CA final. Okay, the third stage is called as CA final. Okay, so basically 3 stages: foundation, intermediate, and CA final. Now, who can join foundation? After you have passed your 10th standard, in your 11th and 12th standard, you can register or enroll or admit yourself side by side of your 11th and 12th commerce to your CA foundation course. Okay, you can, after you are registered, you will be getting study material from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. You have to study those 4 subjects. There are basically 4 subjects in CA foundation course. What you are studying in your 11th and 12th standard. One is economics. One is your quantitative techniques, which is your math statistics, your accountancy, and your mercantile law. Now, only mercantile law is something new to you, which is a theory subject. The rest, all the other 3 are the subjects of your commerce. So, foundation course. Now, what is the type of exam which is there for foundation? It is a multiple choice exam and also a subjective exam. It is a combination now. Earlier it was only multiple choice. Now it has changed to both multiple as well as your subjective, in the sense you have to answer certain questions, theory questions and practical questions. Okay, so that is about the foundation. Once you clear your foundation, now when you can answer the exam of foundation, after you give your exam for 12th standard, you can give your or answer your foundation exam. That will be in the month of May or June. Once you clear your foundation, you have to register for the next stage, second stage, called as intermediate. Now in intermediate, listen carefully, there are basically 3 things a student has to do in the intermediate stage. Now when you are in intermediate, you will be in the first year of your graduation. Okay, because you will be answering after your 12th standard. Now in the intermediate stage, you have to do 3 things. One is to register for intermediate. Okay, second stage. Then you have to answer the subjects. Now there are basically 7 subjects in the second stage called as intermediate. These 7 subjects are divided into 2 parts or 2 groups. Group 1 and Group 2. Group 1 has 4 subjects. Group 2 has 3 subjects. Now you can answer all these 7 subjects of Group 1 and Group 2 at a time, or you can answer Group 1 at one time and Group 2 later, or vice versa. Whichever group you want to answer first, you can give one group at a time or both the groups at a time. Now these exams for intermediate are held or conducted 2 times in a year. One is in May and the other one is in November. Side by side, you have to also join for something called as articleship. Now articleship is just like a practical training. You have to get yourself admitted under a practicing chartered accountant, where you will be learning the practical aspects of a professional life of a chartered accountant. That will be for 3 years. Okay. Now you have to answer this exam. Once you are cleared of these two groups, group 1 and 2, then you are joining in the third stage called as CA final. Now in CA final also, just like intermediate, there are two groups, group 1 and group 2. You can answer both the groups at a time or any group of your choice. And then once you clear your group 1 and group 2 of your CA final and complete your 3 years of your articleship, you become a chartered accountant. There are some small short-term courses you have to do. Those are not much material. Okay, so that you don't worry. So 3 stages: foundation, intermediate, and final, and a articleship of 3 years is what is required of a chartered accountant. Okay, now the second professional course which you can think of is a company secretary. Not many people are aware about the famous is chartered accountancy. The equally important or good course is of a company secretary. Okay, you must be having secretarial practice as one of your subject in your 11-12. It is that subject which is to be practiced as a professional.
Please go to the
Now,
previous slide. Your foundation.
Yes. Yeah. This one. Yeah. Any query?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So next is company secretary. Now, just like CA, you have 3 stages in company secretary. One is called as your foundation. One is your foundation stage, just like your CA. Then you have to have the second stage called as a executive stage. There it was called intermediate. Here it is called as executive stage. And the third is a professional stage. There it was called as CA final. So basically 3 stages for company secretary: foundation, executive, and professional. And here, instead of 3 years articleship for a CA, the articleship is only 2 years. Is that okay? So all of you who have passed your 10th standard, you can also join just like CA for company secretary in your 11th and 12th standard, but examination can be given for foundation only after passing or appearing for your 12th standard. Okay, same just like CA. Next is, now another thing about company secretary is this course, apart from subjects like accounting, auditing, costing, financial management, commerce, etc., has more weightage towards law. As a company secretary has to follow a lot of the statutory requirements. So there are some subjects peculiar about law which are there in company secretary. The next professional course which any student can aspire to take up is cost and management accountant. Earlier it was called as ICWA. Now it is called as cost and management accountant. Just like CA and company secretary, this course also has 3 stages. One is foundation. Okay. The second one is intermediate. And the third one is your final examination. Okay. And you have basically 3 years articleship or 3 years practical training. So almost the same. One is foundation, intermediate, and final, just like CAs and CS. Now, all the 3 courses, what is the peculiar feature? You can join after 10th standard when you're in your 11th and 12th standard. You can come through the route of foundation. Now, suppose you don't want to do these professional 3 courses of your CA, your CS, and cost and management accountant when you are in college. There is another facility. You can join after your graduation directly in the second stage of intermediate. So directly you can join in the second stage without going through the first stage of intermediate. Now you will all be thinking why there is a need to join these professional courses after 12. I will do it after my graduation. But if you do after your 12th standard, when you are in your first year, second year, third year, you will become a CA, CS, or a cost and management accountant at least 1 or 2 years ahead. Okay, so that is the advantage. You will be a professional much ahead than you start after your graduation. And what I have observed in my career is many a time students think that they will be joining after your graduation, but then many of the students, they lose focus. So if you are focused, if you have that fire in you to become a professional, it is always advisable after your 10th standard you register, after 12th standard exam you answer, then start with your intermediate and complete your final stage. We have students, when they're in your first year, second year, they clear their second stage. They clear their first stage of foundation, they clear the first stage of intermediate, and when they're in the third year, they join the final exam and answer after their graduation the final exam. Okay? Now, next, fourth professional course is of law, called as LLB. Now, there are basically 3 law courses which are offered. One is a 5-year BA LLB course, which you have to join after your 12th standard. So after 12, you can join for a 5 years integrated double degree course. You become a BA plus LLB. You get twin qualifications of your BA plus LLB. It is 5 years after your 12th standard. Or you'd want to join after a graduation. After you become a graduate of B.Com or BA or BSc, you can join this course of second one, which is called as LLB degree. So it is a degree course after your graduation. It is a 3 years LLB degree. After you are a LLB, you can do your LLM, which is again another 2 years. So with regard to a professional law degree, you have 5 years, 3 years, and 2 years post your graduate master's law degree. Now we have discussed 4 professional courses. One is CA, your CS, cost and management accountant, and your law. All 4 come under the professional degrees or programs. Now we will also see what are the degrees or graduate programs what a student can take up. Okay. Now except law, if you want to join, you have to join immediately after 12th standard or after graduation. But these 3 courses which I've talked about earlier, the other 3 professional courses, you can do side by side when you are doing your graduation. Okay, so when you are doing your graduation of your first year BCom, second year and third year BCom, you can give your try of becoming either a chartered accountant, cost and management accountant, or a company secretary along with your degree program. So which are the other degree programs you have? The most popular and mostly done by students is a BCom or BCom honors. Earlier it was only BCom. Last 3 years, the Goa University has offered a BCom in honors. Now what is the difference between the two? In the first year and second year, both are same. But in the third year, an honors student has to study 2 extra papers. Okay. Now, the peculiar feature about BCom is a choice-based credit system. It is a semester system. So there are basically 6 semesters. In the first year, you have to answer 2 semesters. Second year, another 2 semesters. And in the third year, another 2 semesters. So total 6 semesters, 6 terms you have to answer in this particular BCom course. Now, each of the term, there are 6 subjects. Except in the first year, there is an addition of your environmental studies called as EVS. Otherwise, there are 6 subjects. So it is basically a choice-based course. I will discuss about BCom here. It is basically a choice-based, wherein each paper carries 100 marks. Out of the 100 marks, 20 marks are internal marks, ISAs, and 80 marks are end semester or end of the term examination marks. So total 80 plus 20, 100 marks per subject. Now BCom is basically an aided course. Now being an aided course, aided means it is recognized and financed by the government. Being an aided course, the fees are comparatively less compared to the other course like a BCA, B.V.M and BBA. Now there are a lot of activities conducted for any BCom course like guest lectures, industrial tours, internship, then certificate courses, etc. Plus, there's another good feature of a project paper to be done by all the students in the third year of any topic of their choice, just like how you do your assignment. You have to choose a topic and submit a dissertation or a assignment, a bigger assignment of 50 pages in the third year. So that is about BCom course. Now for BCom, the specializations offered. Now specialization means specialties or electives, 4 areas. You can choose either of these 4 areas of accounting, costing, business management, banking and finance. Now these choices you can choose and change. When you're in the first year, you can choose accounting. Second year, you can go to any other specialization. So you can choose the specialization in the 3 years. Now, in any of the year, whichever specialization you are choosing, you have to continue in that particular year. Okay, so more options for specializations are there in the 3rd year, wherein you have to choose among these 4 any one of your specialization as a core specialization or an elective. Now, next course which a student has is a BBA degree. Okay, now BBA is also a choice based, just like B.Com. Now, in BBA, there is corporate internship. When you're in the 3rd year, you have to work in the corporate, you have to work in the industry and submit a project report. Then they also conduct a lot of financial literacy for women. They have young leaders program. They also have some seat distribution, etc. I've not covered everything, only the main highlights of each course. And they also have regular interactive sessions with the professionals from the industry. And they have certification from IRDA and NCFM or NISM courses, which you have to answer and get a certificate. So that is about BBA. Then you can also think of BCA if you have computers as your passion, or if you're a computer application student of vocational in your 11th and 12th, or even other commerce student can take up any of these courses. Now, BCA is also a choice based called as CBCS, an updated syllabus. There is focus on skill base, and they are basically discipline specific elective computer science courses. So you can choose your specialization also in your BCA. Then they have internship, project mentoring, and regular interaction with the industry. They also have live projects with latest technologies which are mentored by the industry experts. And there are a lot of add-on certificate courses in Android technology, networking, game designing, Internet of Things, cloud computing, app, Python programming, etc. Okay. Then they also conduct training for answering national level exams like NESCOM certification, etc. Now, the new program which has started in Goa is a V.V.M program, which is approved by the UGC. Now, it is basically a specialized skill program, which is also approved by NSDC and MHRD. It is a curriculum which has curriculum mapped with job roles as specified by NSQF, okay, and other entities like NOS, etc. Now, the main advantage of this course is in the 3 years, you have multiple exit points. So if you do only one semester, you get what is called as a certificate. If you do first year of V.V.M, semester 1 and 2, you get a diploma degree. If you do the first 4 semesters, if you do first year and second year, you get an advanced diploma. And if you complete all the 6 semesters, we are awarded a V.V.M degree. So you can exit V.V.M if you wish earlier, but you get the other degrees or other certificate or diplomas at each of the exit point. The next course which any student would like to do after graduation, the others are all after 12th standard, what I have discussed. Now, this is one course which you can take up after your graduation. The minimum qualification required is a graduate to become a MBA or to do a MBA degree. Now, to get admission in any of the top business school like IITs, IIMs, etc., you require basically a CAT exam, entrance exam called as CAT. Some of the other institutes like Xavier Institute of Management have Z, etc. So XLRI, they have a Z. If you are planning to do a MBA with a foreign B school, business school, you have to answer what is called as GMAT. Now, all these entrance exams basically test your English, they test your quantitative aptitude, they test your data interpretation and essay writing, basically logic. Okay, so most of the questions, they are all multiple choice, objective type questions. They are all application based, situational based, how you will be using in that particular situation. Now, selection after you clear the main entrance is based on personal interviews, and group discussion. So once you are shortlisted, you have to appear for a personal interview, and you will be placed in a group for a group discussion. They will observe you, and then to the final selection in any top B school. Now the catch in a MBA is, if you do an MBA in a reputed institute, that carries a lot of weight. Now why that carries a lot of weight? Because there are campus placements. You are offered a salary based on where you graduate or where you do your MBA from. If you are from IIM, IIT, your XLRI, you have a higher pay package compared to the other B schools. Then there are different specialization in MBA, like what I have discussed for B.Com. You can do your MBA in finance, you can do on strategy, you can do on marketing, you can do on IT, you can do on operations or logistics, and you can do on international business. There are many other specializations still being offered by many other institutes, but these are the main specialization. So to sum up my session on careers, what are the key takeaways for you students who have attended this particular webinar today? One is, please take time to understand yourself. You should know what you are. For that, you have to do a SWOT analysis. You should know what are your likes and what are your preferences. So without understanding yourself, if you choose a particular career, you might be in a wrong career. So your personality has to match with what you are going to do and choose in the future. Now, this is a very big saying which says, ambition can neither be injected nor can it be imitated. There's also a saying which says, you can take a horse to a river, but you cannot make him drink. I can make you aware about the different career choices, your ambition. But I cannot say that you do this particular choice of career. It has to come within you. So you cannot copy your friends, you cannot copy somebody else. But after being aware, there has to be a fire among you to take up a particular career. Now again, another saying which says, success is subjective. So define your own benchmark of success. Now, success for each person is subjective. In the sense, for me, a salary of 20,000 would be sufficient. For somebody else, a pay package of 1 crore will be ambition. So success can differ from person to person. For somebody, a salary could be a motivating factor. For someone else, the job position or the job satisfaction could be a greater success indicator, or for somebody working in a well-known reputed institution could be a subject, your success indicator. Now, again, I believe strongly in this point. Hard work can substitute intelligence. If you are hardworking, you need not be intelligent. But only intelligence cannot substitute hard work. What I mean, if you are hardworking, you can become a chartered accountant, you can become a company secretary, you can do your MBA. But if you have that arrogance of intelligence without doing any hard work, it will never take you to any places. You will never be able to achieve what you aspire to be. I have had the privilege to have some good students who are very intelligent, but they had the arrogance of intelligence. They thought that they would be able to become chartered accountant. I had a friend also who was like that, but they never had the hard work to put in. They only dependent on their intelligence. But without hard work, you can never be a professional. I have examples wherein students who are not so brilliant, who are not so intelligent, but they were very hardworking, they were very focused, they had that fire in them, they had that zeal in them to become a chartered accountant, and they became a chartered accountant. I have many examples to put. Now, this is something what is lacking amongst our youngsters. It is always advisable to chew a finance newspaper for breakfast. You have to read the news, read what is happening among the society. Now, you need not be reading the physical newspaper. Now you have the apps, or you can go online and read the things what are happening, like Google News, your Economic Times app, etc. Okay, and the last main thing for any student to take up a career is the parents' attitude. Parents' attitude is the determining factor in shaping any student's career. Now here I would say, gone are those days wherein parents were forcing students to take up a particular line of career, which has evolved now, and parents are much open. Parents are worried about the child. They are much concerned about the child. Whatever the child has chosen, the parents nowadays give full freedom, full backing, and all their support for a student to take up a particular career. So parents have also changed their mindset. What is required is for a student to choose among the alternatives. Once chosen, you have to be very focused. You have to be hardworking. Success will just not come like that. You have to work hard towards it. Each person, each successful person has put in a lot of hard work, and that's why people are successful. I would also say that if you want to enjoy life, this is the time you have to sacrifice, you have to focus. If you put in hard work now, you will be able to enjoy life later. But if you have the other mentality of enjoying life when you are supposed to study, when you are supposed to make a career, in future you will not be able to enjoy the life. So you have to choose between enjoyment now or enjoyment later. Enjoyment now for a short period of time in the short run, or enjoy your life in the long run. Choice is yours. Okay, so these are some of the websites you can explore, get more information about these courses, some of these professional courses, or you can just type on Google and you get all the details on the click of a button. If you have any queries, you are free to ask. Okay, any queries? You can ask. Any questions?
Students, if you have any queries or any questions regarding careers, please unmute your microphone, or you can type a question in the chat box.
Okay, till others type their questions or ask their question. Another advice I would give is, if you are interested in any of these professional careers like CA, CS, or your cost and management accountant, it is always better to give a try when you are doing your graduation. You can give a try, you can see whether you will be able to do, and then continue after graduation. But don't try to do those courses after your graduation. That might be too late, or you might lose focus by then. Okay, any queries? Please do ask. How do I see you? Okay. Okay, I put my mic on also. Camera. Because of internet connectivity, I did just put it. Okay. Just see the questions. Can we do CA course after graduation? Yes, you can do CA course after graduation. You can join directly the second stage of CA or any other course called as intermediate course. So without doing the first stage, you can directly join the second stage of any professional course of CA, CS, or cost and management account. What about diploma program? Okay, I had skipped that. Okay, I'll just go back to that. Just a minute. I'll just show you that diploma program. Okay, can you see? Can you see this? Hello? Hello? You can see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I had concentrated more on professional programs and degree programs. You have a lot of other diploma. These are only some of them. You have a lot of diploma programs like diploma in travel and tourism, diploma in hotel management, diploma in air hostess and flight steward, diploma in education. Okay, BA, what we call. Now, I would advise you, you do your degree program side by side. Either choose your professional course or do a side by side a diploma program. But don't rely only on diploma. because those are mostly your low-end courses wherein the remuneration will not be so lucrative. You can do as a passion. So you can continue with your graduation and do these diploma courses as an add-on course and not as a full-time course, because graduation and professional courses have more value rather than the diploma courses. That is to enhance your knowledge. First you get your knowledge first, and then these are add-on courses or additional courses. Okay. Okay, now somebody is asking me how you can meet me. You can contact me. My number I'll just post later. So after BCom, we have to do CA course. Now you can do CA course. Hello. You can do CA course after your 12th standard. I think Farida's mic is on. Okay. You can join any of the professional courses after your 12th standard. You can answer after your 12th standard or after your graduation. So you can do both ways, either through the 3 stages or with the 2 stages of intermediate and final. But it is advisable to do all the 3 stages. You will be a professional much earlier than doing or starting after your graduation. Now, so what can we do after BCA? After BCA, you can do MCA or you can do any MBA. Okay, so those are the opportunities, or you can start working. Okay, so either start working or do MCA, or you do your MBA, or you can do even your other courses, what I've spoken about. You can do any of the professional courses, or you can even join law degree program. Any other question or any query? Okay, I just posted my number in case if you want to ask any. So if we do CA side by side, BCom, how much time it will take to become a CA professional? Now, after 12th standard, you will be answering your first stage, which is your foundation. So in the month of March, April, you'll be giving your 12th standard exam. So you join your your first stage of foundation when you're in 11, 12. So immediately after giving your 12th standard exam in March or April, you give your exam in the month of May or June for the first stage of foundation. Suppose if you clear, immediately you join your second stage of your intermediate. Now in intermediate, you can answer after 9 months. So you can answer in the month of May. Now in the month of May, you can answer both the groups or only one group. Suppose if you answer both the groups in the month of May, when you're in the first year, you can join the last stage of CA final when you are completing your first year BCom. So when you are in the second year, you can be in CA final. Then after 9 months of registering for CA final, you can give your exam for CA final. So actually you can become a professional when you are in the third year. You can become a chartered accountant when you are in the third year itself. Will it be better if we start working after BCA, or we should study after that for some time? Now BCA is basically a technical course. So some students, when they are in the third year, they enroll themselves for MCA degree program. They study and then they go in the industry, or they go for MBA and then they go in the industry. So some of them, they would work first and then do any MBA course, because for MBA you require some practical experience. So that depends on your own choice, but better to do the courses beforehand, because sometimes once you start working, you can't give up a good job what you have got on hand. So better to finish your studies and then go in the corporate sector when you can settle down. Any other queries? Okay, hope I have answered all your queries. Okay, I'm done.
I hope all your questions are answered. Thank you, Dr. Edwin, for this amazing session on careers. And I'm very sure that our students have gained a lot of information and knowledge about various careers in the field of commerce. So, as you have rightly said, that ambition can be neither injected nor can it be initiated. And students find that you need to understand yourself, your life, and your preferences. That's very important. Now, I would like to invite the developer to propose a workout.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who really work hard to make this webinar happening. On behalf of R.M. Salgaonkar Higher Secondary School, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to our multi-talented resource person, Dr. Edwin B. Barreto, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace the webinar. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Your thoughts have enlightened students' mind and shown us a new path. My special thanks to Sir Vinayak Angle, Chairman of our school, Principal Madam Cynthia Borges E. Branches, Mrs. Frida Fernandez, Miss Usha Gaonkar, teaching and non-teaching staff for helping us to make this event successful. Thank you all once again.
Students, always keep one thing in mind. It's always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you. Have a nice time.